What's up, YouTube? Thomas L here. Since besides movies, April looks like it's going to be a really solid year for TV. So I decided to do my top 10 anticipated TV premieres of April. So with that being said, here it is. Coming in at number 10 is a new ABC show titled Bless the Mess. This show stars Dax Shepard and Lake Bell as a couple whose life ends up changing when they move from New York to Nebraska, and they end up having pretty much building a farm in their new pretty much they have a farm where they live at now. I think this the trailers have been hits and miss, but I think this looks like it could be something pretty funny and interesting. I mean, it's nice to see Dax Shepard back on TV. I mean, of course, he did Parenthood and a few other stuff. And I always do like Lake Bell. I mean, Lake Bell has got to be underrated. I think that woman is awesome. I mean, a lot of stuff Lake Bell has been in has been pretty decent. And also, she was in this movie called Good Old Fashioned Orgy, which was really hysterical. But I'm really curious to see how good the chemistry between both Lake Bell and Dax Shepard will be. So, yeah, I'll definitely give this one a shot. Now, it will premiere on ABC on April 16th. Coming in at number 9 is a Netflix sitcom called No Good Deed. And it's about a family who finds their lives turned upside down when a young street smart grifter shows up on their doorstep, claiming to be a distant relative. Now, this actually stars Melissa Joan Hart from Sabrina fame, and Sean Astin, who of course was on Stranger Things. Now, they actually just dropped the trailer, which I haven't really seen yet, but I'm a sucker for multicam, so yeah, I'll probably definitely check this one out. I mean, to me, Netflix has been pretty good with its multicams stuff. Like, I don't care what anyone said. I really like Fuller House. The Ranch is pretty decent. One Day at a Time was good, which I kind of still a little disappointed they got rid of, but hey, what are you gonna do? And it's nice to see Melissa Joan Hart back doing the classic sorry about that. Anyway, it's pretty cool to see Melissa Joan Hart back to the sitcom routine, and Sean Astin, I'm always a fan of his, so I'm definitely going to check this one out when it premieres. Now, No Good Nick will premiere on Netflix on April 15th. Coming in at number 8 is Marvel's Cloak and Dagger Season 2. I really dug the first season. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it's cool to see lots of other stations taking a crack at a Marvel show. Like we got this. Of course, Hulu has the Runaways. Netflix had Marvel shows, but they had a habit of canceling them. So hopefully they'll get revived for Disney Plus, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, this show stars Olivia Holt and Aubrey Joseph, and they were both great in the show. So I'm really looking forward to see them back together again. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see where they're gonna take season 2 at, and it'll be cool to see. I mean, I wonder if Cloak and Dagger is gonna reference Infinity War. Really, I mean, I know this show is still set in the MCU. Like, this is technically in the same universe as the Avengers, so it'll be interesting to see if season 2 is gonna reference anything from any events of Infinity War or any other Marvel shows. So, still waiting for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to come back, but I think we're probably gonna have to wait till the summer for that. But anyway. Now, Cloak and Dagger will return to Freeform on April 4th. Coming in at number 7 is Voss and Verdon. This stars Sam Rockwell and Michelle Williams, who I'm a big fan of. I love those two. And in it, here's what it's about. Spanning 5 decades, Voss and Verdon explores the singular romance and creative partnership between Bob Voss and Gwen Verdon, who was also in that movie that was talked about on my baseball list, Damn Yankees. Anyway, Bob is a visionary filmmaker and one of the year's most influential photographers and directors. Gwen is the greatest Broadway dancer of all time. Only Bob can create the groundbreaking musicals that allow Gwen to showcase her greatness. Only Gwen can realize the unique vision in Bob's head. Together, they will change the face of American entertainment at a perilous cost. I'm a sucker for old Hollywood. I kind of already mentioned that a couple times. So, definitely check this one out. I do like both Sam Rockwell and Michelle Williams. They're both really great actors. Sam Rockwell's doing like a double header. He has The Best of Enemies coming to theirs, and he has this coming to FX. So I'm glad to see Sam Rockwell's career finally kicking off more. He's been around for years, but it's always like Sam Rockwell is always the actor who is like that guy actor. The guy whose face you recognize but can't tell the name. I'm glad to see Sam Rockwell's career go more further. Especially after his Oscar win for the incredible movie Three Billboards. So, anyway, Voss and Verdant will premiere on FX on April 9th. And FX has been good with its true story miniseries, like American Crime Story. The Feud series was pretty good. So I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with this now. Coming in at number 6 is Life in Pieces. Now, this is, of course, season 4. I really like Life in Pieces. I think it's a really funny, well-put-together, well-run show. The cast in this is great. Like, you got Diane Weiss and James Brolin, who pretty much are like the head of a large, happy family in which each member is approaching different milestones. Their eldest daughter, named Heather, played by Betsy Brandt, and her husband, consider of having another child as they get closer to an empty nest. You also got middle child Matt, played by Thomas Sadowski, who thinks he has found true love. And you also got the youngest of the 3 siblings, Greg, played by Colin Hanks, who was overwhelmed after having his first child with his wife, played by Zoe Lissa Jr., who, by the way, was just signed on to direct the upcoming Craft remake. I think Life in Pieces is pretty decent. It kind of reminds me of Modern Family in a way. I always get a Modern Family feel to it. And season 3 actually premiered, season 3 ended last May, and kind of shame that we had to wait, they gotta wait till April for season 4, but hey, hopefully it's worth the wait, Coming in at number 5 is The Last OG Season 2. The first season of The Last OG was hilarious. Tracy Morgan, Tiffany Haddish was great. Here, Tracy Morgan plays a guy named Trey, who's after spending 15 years in prison for a crime he actually didn't really commit. He ends up being released early for good behavior, and so he he returns to Brooklyn to try to reconnect with kids and his ex-wife, played by Tiffany Haddish, who's also kind of with another man. This show is hilarious. I really like Cedric the Entertainer. He has a part in this. Alan, can't really pronounce his last name, but he appeared on Blackish. He was one of Anthony Harrison's co-workers. He's really funny on the show. I just see Tracy Morgan doing lots of great stuff. Ever since his terrible car accident years back, he seems like he's been even stronger with his projects and all. And I'm really happy to see him pretty much back. I've always been a Tracy Morgan fan. I loved him on Dirty Rock. I didn't love Dirty Rock as most people did, but my favorite part on that show has got to be Tracy Morgan. Of course, he was great on SNL. I'm a big Tracy Morgan guy, and adding him with Tiffany Haddish, yeah. Season 1 was really great, so I'm looking forward to see where Season 2 is going to go. Now, season 2 of The Last OG will premiere on TBS on April 2nd. So keep your eye out for that. Coming in at number 4 is The Chi. Now, this movie takes place in Chicago, in South Side of Chicago, that carries daily danger, and there's lots of gang violence and it's created by both Common and Lena White, who also created that Master of None show with Aziz Ansari. Lena White is really awesome. I really like some of the stuff she's done. And also, you got Jason Mitchell in this, who I'm a big fan of. I think Jason Mitchell is just awesome. Jacob Lattimore is in this. A few other good cast members. The little kid from Moonlight, he's also in this. It's a really good show. Like, there's some intense moments that happens, and I mean, Showtime, they do Chicago well. Like, whether it's Shameless or The Chi, Showtime just loves Chicago shows. Makes you surprised that Showtime don't have any of those Chicago fires and those other Chicago shows you see on NBC. But anyway, if you guys still never seen The Chi, it's really great. Now, The Chi Season 2 will premiere on April 7th on Showtime. Coming in at number 3 is Cobra Kai Season 2. Now, of course, this show takes place like 34 years after the events of 1984's Karate Kid. And, of course, it got William Zabka returning as Johnny Lawrence, who creates his own Cobra Kai dojo. Of course, you got Ralph Macchio back as Danny LaRusso. Yeah, this show first season was great. I mean, not so long ago I did my top 10 favorite shows of 2018, and Cobra Kai was of course number 1 in my favorite comedy list. It's a great show. It's really fun. Like, the new editions of the show is really great. And like the young actors in this are really fantastic. I really like the young actors here. I'm really curious to see where season 2 is going to go from here. I mean, I'm still hoping maybe Elizabeth Shue will return, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But who knows? Stranger things have happened. Now, Cobra Kai Season 2 will premiere on YouTube on April 24th. Alright. Coming in at number 2 is Game of Thrones Season 8. Now, lots of people will probably say, wait, Game of Thrones is not number 1? My number 1 pick, I'm actually looking forward to slightly more than Game of Thrones, to be honest with you. But, of course, Game of Thrones is going to be the final season, and I'm really looking forward to see how they're going to end it. Game of Thrones is a worldwide sensation. Now, I was a little late to the party with Game of Thrones, but I really like the show. It's really cool, pretty violent, great acting. I simply can't wait to see how they're going to end this, of course. But, of course, Game of Thrones is not ending completely, because HBO is also doing like a prequel show. So I knew when they announced that Game of Thrones was ending, I was like, yeah, the show's ending, but HBO's not done with the Game of Thrones universe, you know? Now, a lot of people always call Game of Thrones like the greatest show of all time and all. To me, it's a good show, but to me, it's not the greatest show of all time. But it's still a pretty decent show. I really get a kick out of Game of Thrones, and can't wait to see where they're going to take the final season at. Now, Game of Thrones, the final season, will premiere on April 14th on HBO. Now, my number 1 anticipated show of April is going to go to The Twilight Zone. The trailers for this have been amazing. When they announced that Jordan Peele was doing a Twilight Zone, that won me over. I mean, after seeing what Jordan Peele did with Get Out, and not to mention after seeing Us, I might be even more excited for Twilight Zone. And also, Jordan Peele has been really great with anthology shows, because he also just had this show called Weird City. It's a weird show, but it's actually really good. So, Yeah, I'm becoming a big Jordan Peele guy, and the cast he has listed in this is insane. Like, people in this includes like the cast in the new Twilight Zone includes Sanaa Lathan, Greg Kinnear, Taissa Farmiga, Jacob Tremblay, Tracy Morgan is going to appear in this. Adam Scott. The list goes on and on. I mean, Seth Rogen's going to be in this. I mean, it has a really great cast, and I can't tell you how much I am hyped for this Twilight Zone. Of course, not so long ago, like last year, I did my 10 anticipated TV shows of the year, and Twilight Zone was number one. So it's my number one anticipated show of the year, and it's my number one anticipated TV show of April. And it's also premiering on April 1st on CBS All Access, so I'm definitely checking that out. Although CBS All Access haven't really had anything that I've really liked. Like, even Star Trek Discovery. I mean, I tried watching it, and to me, I think it's pretty terrible. I mean, The Orville's is a better Star Trek show. And not to mention, in the new Twilight Zone, Jordan Peele is also the host of it, so he's taken after Rod Sterling. So, yeah, I'm really pumped for the Twilight Zone and see what Jordan Peele is going to do with it, and I'm interested to see the story that's going to be unwound in this. So, yep, cannot wait for the Twilight Zone. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, Bless the Mess. 9, No Good Nick. 8, Marvel's Cloak and Dagger Season 2. 7, Voss and Verdant. 6, Life in Pieces. 5, The Last OG. 4, The Chai Season 2. 3, Cobra Kai Season 2. 2, Game of Thrones The Final Season. 1, The Twilight Zone. Let me leave it to you guys. What TV premieres of April are you looking forward to watching? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Tom Sells signing off.